wicka 19. Anyways, people, what's happening? Are Limp Bizkit Slop or not? We're going to figure out today. But first, we're going to go over four things. Actually, not but first. We're going to go over four things to figure it out. We're going to four. What is slop, right? We're going to look at this. Then two, how do we detect slop? Three, how much of Limp Bizkit's music is slop or not? And then fourth is going to be, are they even talented? And then fifth, I'm going to tell you if people are going to think they're slop or not. Now let's get to it. What is slop? We're going to look at the music matrix here. My beautiful baby music matrix. We look at the energy up on this side, perceived and physical. And here we look at catchiness. And so first we're going to go up. And so for today's, it's going to be useful. If the energy level is between, like, let's say, a 5 and an 8, people are going to say it's punk. And then if it's really catchy, they're going to call it maybe punk and rock, right? If it's between an 8 and 11, they're going to call it metal. And then if it's really country as well, they're going to call it rock and metal. Like, think Ozzy Osbourne, like Crazy Train might be like a lower energy metal song that's really catchy, so it's called a rock song, right? Well, Welcome to the Jungle might be, in that same kind of range. Anyway, so that is what slop is. But now, how do we detect slop? You might be thinking, and you're like, how do I even know? How do I know if I stepped in slop on my way to work? How do I know what happened to my child when I took them to the zoo? Was it the Harlem Zoo? I don't even remember. It's the Cleveland Zoo. Cleveland Zoo. That's where Harambe was killed. Anyways, how are we going to figure out what slop is, right? So a slop, I didn't even go over it. Slop is less than a 7 in terms of catchiness. People who aren't fans of that genre, so like, I don't want to flip back, but we'll get back to it. I'll show you. But anyways, less than a 7 in catchiness, right? Now here we have predictability. This is how we detect slop. It doesn't guarantee that something is slop or not, but it will give a pretty good idea to start with. And so here we have completely corny things. They're guaranteed pretty much to be slop, right? Things that are completely incoherent, don't make any sense, art school films, also likewise slop, right? But if things are in this money zone, right, they're either balanced, a little zany, or in the sweet spot, then they have a chance at being not slop, either rock or pop, right? Something that fans of that band or that genre might like, but, isn't necessarily the catchiest, and total slop. It can still be total slop, right? And you actually might have a chance at being a smash hit. So good examples there. Any Joe Bonamassa stuff is really corny, incoherent, is like a lot of the Mars Volta, except for like 4 songs. And then zany, but still a smash hit, that would be Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Balanced, predictable, but not too predictable, still a smash hit would be Highway to Hell. Something that's in the sweet spot in between Highway to Hell and Bohemian Rhapsody in terms of predictability would be Welcome to the Jungle. We got fun and games. Now we're going to figure out how much of Limp Bizkit's catalog, she said BS. How much of Limp Bizkit's catalog is in fact slop, how much is not? Because this is going to influence if people think the band as a whole are slop or not. Because we can say right off rip, songs can be slop or not pretty easily. It's pretty easy to figure out. But is a band slop or not? Well, that's why we're going to look at the catalog on it, right? So here we take a look. This is your classic catalog. This is the ratio of quality to quantity, right? So something that's mostly hit quality music, and then a little bit of some stuff for fans. That's going to be a classic catalog with very little slop. That's something like the Beatles, Metallica, Daft Punk, Rage Against the Machine. They didn't really release a bad album or even a bad, 10, 20, 30 songs. They really don't have that, right? And then here for OnlyFans, you've got people who don't really have hits or duds, and they mostly just have stuff that their fans are going to like, or B-sides. So that'd be like Motorhead or Slayer or Frank Zappa. There's not really a Frank Zappa or, a Slayer hit outside of like 1 or 2 songs, really. But there's like 80 songs that fans love, right? And you can see the one-hit wonder, nothing but just one hit. You can see an even 50-50. Led Zeppelin, 9 Inch Nails, where they've got a lot of really great hits, but also a lot of stuff that's just for fans, and then a lot of stuff that the fans skip too. It's a pretty even distribution if you put it out there. Now, I think Limp Bizkit ends up here. But don't worry, he's in good company with David Bowie. Wicka wicka one night. Yeah, what up? I can't sing any of the Limp Bizkit songs. Like an animal, I want to feel you on the inside. You think you will be my perfect one? That's all that I know will bring you closer to me. It's 1999. There we go. I'm having fun here. Anyways, that's the catalog audit. Yeah, mostly. So here's the thing. This is why it's going to be divisive. If you just think of the top 10 songs from Limp Bizkit, you're going to say, oh, they're not slop. They're like a rock metal band. They're freaking awesome, right? And then if you're like someone who thinks the whole catalog, and then you're like, they're mostly slop. Oh my god! And so that's where you're going to get. It's going to be controversial. That's what we can tell you right off the bat from this distribution. If they were okay, let's just take a second, little Jimmy Jimbo. Jimmy Jimbo. If they were a classic catalog, right? It's not going to be divisive, right? And if they're for fans catalog, it's also probably not going to be, it's going to be predictable, right? This is where you get, I can predict people are going to be split on it. Now, are they even talented? So, despite how much of the catalog is good or not, do they have a good brand? Do they have, if someone just cares about wearing the Metallica t-shirt at Walmart and they've never heard a song, but they just want a cool t-shirt from Walmart, that's good. They're just going to care about brand. They don't care about musicianship and riffs or songwriting, anything like that. They just care about the brand, right? So I'm going to go historical impact, Limp Bizkit high, present impact really high, aesthetic very solid. Maybe you don't like it, but it's very strong and defined, right? Green, of course, meaning good. Yellow means bad, and red means fucked. It means slop. Anyways. Got to reposition. Anyways, they get green from here. They have really strong brand, very strong brand. Do I think it's great? I don't particularly like their brand. You know what I mean? I like the band for a lot of other reasons, the songs, everything like that. And so I like the band in spite of the brand they chose. But the brand is very strong. So if people do like it, it's very strong, right? But because of that, it's a little bit divisive. So some people just off the brand and the distribution of the catalog are going to go, slap, right? And musicianship, excellent. Maybe you could complain about Fred Durst, yeah. People might complain about a Fred Durst maniac. They might complain about that, but songwriting, I would say pretty good, but kind of inconsistent. So I would give them probably a yellow. But live show is great. Lyrics, I would give them a yellow. They committed to it, but I'm not digging it really. The chords are banger usually, right? Melodies are good. Usually, they're medium. Here's the thing. They're not the best songwriters, but they're clearly not bad either. But they're inconsistent. This is where I'm going to get. Though I think they're skilled in all these areas, this is the verdict here. We're going to actually go to the main chart, right? This is what you wanted to see. Are they slop or not? What are people thinking when they see Limp Bizkit? Now, Limp Bizkit are in right now, and they've had a resurgence, specifically with the people who were going to like Limp Bizkit or predisposed to liking them to begin with just because they would find the aesthetic, the musicianship, the energy level, the catchiness, etc., right? They would find those things attractive regardless, the people who are predisposed to like those. But really, most people, I don't think of one song when they think of, is an artist good or bad, right? Are they catchy? Are they energetic? Yada, 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 right? If they say, oh, they're punk or they're metal or they're rock or they're pop, they're usually thinking the top songs they remember. So I like to go based off of your top 10 songs, right? So for me, and this is where you might disagree, but we're going to go, first off, I'm going to draw the catalog distribution just down for us. Catalog is mostly garbage, a little bit of hits. They have a strong brand, strong song, strong musicianship, but they're going to have a high controversy level because people aren't going to people are going to be split because they don't like the brand. They don't like how high their energy level is because you can see their energy level on average is like an 8.1. On average, their top 10 songs are metal songs, right? And so people who don't like metal, the people who like this stuff, even if it's not catchy, they're probably not going, like the people who are going to listen to what we non-indie fans would call bad indie music, which is anything that's in the slop zone of indie, right? The people who we consider liking slop, indie slop, they're probably not going to like it just because the energy is that high, right? So that's going to be controversial, right? They're going to call it slop and say, nope, it goes above an 8 on energy. It's slop, period. I think you can have catchiness even if I think it's harder as you go up in terms of energy. There's less and less, and this becomes easier and easier and easier and easier. And then it becomes really easy to make low energy garbage, right? Hence why you see all the indie bands right now. They're all in this zone, right? Between 6 and 7. They're all right here, these indie bands. Sorry if you have an indie band, but I'm just telling you, right? It is a tricky thing to figure out how do I make a song that's really catchy and really high energy. Kind of hard. So people usually tend to get good energy or get good catchiness and then compromise on energy. And then the catchiness goes down to get more, or yeah. They'll get more energy, but only by being less catchy. And then usually they get to slop before they get to an 11 out of energy. Not many bands get to an 11. Maybe Slipknot gets to 11 and then stays at a 7, but then it's like, like, I'm not, I guess I'm a metal fan, but it's because I like the metal that's here, right? And sometimes I use metal as just a friggin' adrenaline shot when I'm in the gym, right? It doesn't need to be good. It just gets, needs to give me the adrenaline to lift something heavy. So give me something to break. So just one more fight about your leadership. My Way, that's coming in at number 2. Nookie, I did it all for the Nookie. And then, run out of faith. So wouldn't it be nice if I could touch your body? I know not everybody got a body like me. And then, everybody something to break. So, but she said, Bo crud. And Mr. Generation, we don't give a flip, and we won't ever give a flip on to you. Don't give a flip about me. Mr. Generation, what's a flip up, man? I know why you want to hate me. You ain't. That's all I want to ever say. Lie. But down, 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 down. Right, mate. You ain't. That's all I want to ever say. Revolution! You don't want to hate! Revolution! Run on! Spread! And then roll, say what? And then behind blue eyes. And it's 1990, no, baby! I like these songs. You might disagree, so you might give it a different ranking. If there's songs that you pick that you like more that are higher energy but probably maybe less catchy, then you're going to put them here. My personal taste means my top 10 songs end up being slightly higher and catchier than maybe their average. If you look at all their songs as a little scatter plot, it might look like this. Kind of like that, right? With a couple off in different directions. But I'm usually going to be up and to the left of where their songs usually are. But that's what I said. There we go. So they're going to be controversial, but not really. They're going to be controversial with people who don't like metal, right? Who dislike metal. And, pretty much people who don't like higher energy levels are going to say, oh, they suck. And the people who do like higher energy levels are, if they don't like the aesthetic, might also say, well, they're not my favorite, right? So you're going to get, and their catalog is not consistent because it looks like this, but then it goes, So people are, they're going to be like, if your catalog looks like that, you're mostly garbage. You're mostly slop, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to freaking tell you. Actually, I know what to tell you. And I need to click the next video so you can see the next video. Come on, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. Why are you doing the Arnold voice? I don't get it. You have the bicep, you have the real deal 20 yards. I don't get what you're doing. Why are you doing this? This is crazy. Like, what are you doing? It's like, shut up, little man. I don't care. I don't get what you're doing. It's like, stop it. Or, don't even do it. It's like, what? Thank you for watching. It's cool. Anyways, no, the next one's going to be on Them Crooked Vultures. Down. Go check that one out. Like the video, subscribe. I love you if you subscribe. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Your parents don't, but I love you, so love me. No, please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.